Developing news in southeast Albuquerque. Police have the area of Lead and Girard still closed off. Now, just before midnight, police say they were called to what appears to be an armed robbery. They say 2 people were shot and seriously injured. This is still a very active scene. It's unclear if the shooter or shooters are on the loose. Police are asking anyone with information about the crime to call them. As always, we'll continue to update this story on air and online at KRQE.com and on our news app. Albuquerque police now say the 69-year-old man stabbed in his own front yard was attacked by a stranger. The victim's family tells us he was doing yard work at his home near Lomas and Bryn Mawr Thursday morning when Francisco Rodriguez approached him, started a conversation, then stabbed him in the face, chest, stomach, and leg. Witnesses say they told Rodriguez to stop, but he kept going, then casually walked away. The victim's family says if his neighbors hadn't called for help immediately, he likely would have been dead. He's now at UNM Hospital fighting for his life.
And he is so nice. He'll do anything for you. You know, he always talks to me. He waves at me.
Police caught up with Rodriguez near the crime scene Thursday and arrested him for attempted murder. It was quite a scare at an Albuquerque elementary school after a woman was found with what looked like a high-powered rifle.
We received numerous phone calls. Calls came in one right after the other.
One of those calls came from the principal of Bel Air Elementary, who immediately put the school on lockdown when it happened yesterday morning. Police say they found 29-year-old Joanna Davidson across the street from Bel Air. At first glance, police say it looked like a .50 caliber rifle with a scope. Turned out to be a high-dollar airsoft rifle which shoots plastic pellets. Now, Davidson told officers she was trying to sell it. She was arrested and charged with disorderly conduct and interference with the educational process. And APS sent a letter home to parents at James Monroe Middle School and nearby Sunset View Elementary because of a man with a gun caught on campus yesterday. Police say Omar Henley dropped his mom, a substitute teacher, off at the middle school, then fell asleep in the parking lot. They found a loaded gun in his car and ammo in his pocket. Henley is a convicted felon and he's now facing a serious gun charge. Well, police need your help finding the group of people who severely beat a man. Roswell police say the 21-year-old victim was walking Wednesday night near the intersection of G Street and East Wells Street when 2 women and a man got out of a car and beat him. The victim was hurt so badly he had to be transported to a hospital out of town. Witnesses described the car as a dark-colored 1980s model 4-door Chevy. Now, the suspects may have had a small child in the car with them. If you have any information about the attack, call Roswell Police. Albuquerque investigators are looking into a violent attack of what may be an innocent victim. The victim says he was riding his skateboard near Lomas and San Pedro Thursday night when Devontae Brown came up to him and put a gun to his head, accusing him of stealing money. The victim says he had never seen Brown before and begged him to put the gun down. The victim then fled and called police. Police found Brown with the gun. Police have caught a wanted caregiver they say stole from an elderly woman. Desiree Voorhees is accused of withdrawing $45,000 from a woman she was caring for without the victim even knowing it. Police say she was trying to pay for her wedding. They'd been looking for her for months and found her Thursday in Los Lunas. There's been a much different atmosphere in Baltimore since the announcement that 6 police officers have been charged with the death of Freddie Gray. A few arrests were made overnight, but protests remained peaceful overall.
I just feel it's the most wonderful thing I've seen in a long time.
Protesters took to the streets yesterday following the announcement. Now, Gray died of a severe spinal injury while in police custody. Baltimore's top prosecutor says his death has been ruled a homicide. The charges against the officers include second-degree murder and involuntary manslaughter. Gray's family is relieved.
These charges are an important step in getting justice for Freddie.
All 6 officers posted bond and are expected to be home this morning. They maintain they did nothing wrong. A mother in Georgia did a very bizarre thing that she hopes will keep her son from growing up with a criminal record. She had him arrested. The mother of 3 called police to her Columbus home to teach her son a lesson. She says her son, Sean, had been acting out in school, disrespecting his teacher and refusing to do schoolwork.
We sit down, we talk about it, I ask him what's going on, how are you feeling?
The mother says her son's bad behavior was going on for weeks and talking through it just wasn't working. So she called police. They put cuffs on him and then sat him in the back of a squad car for about 5 minutes. She took pictures of it all and posted them on social media where it went viral. Now, many were supportive of the mother, but a few weren't so sure it was a good idea. Well, the royal family has a new baby. Buckingham Palace in Britain has confirmed that William's wife, Kate, gave birth to a baby girl early this morning. Now, this is the couple's second child. Susan McGinnis has more from London on the new royal arrival.
Palace officials confirm the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge have a new little princess. Britain's new royal baby is resting in the Lindo wing of St. Mary's Hospital in London. The new baby is Prince William and Kate's second. Prince George was born nearly 2 years ago. Now Britain celebrates again.
Kensington Palace have told us that they've accredited even more media than last time with Prince George. But I think amongst the general public, it's a little bit more muted than with the birth of Prince George.
That's because the new royal baby is unlikely to ever take the British throne. The child will be what's called a spare to the heir.
The baby is now 4th in line following Prince Charles, Prince William, and big brother Prince George. But that's not stopping this nation from celebrating the birth of the new princess, whose name we may not learn for a while. When Prince George was born, Will and Kate waited 2 days to reveal the name, first informing Queen Elizabeth. Susan McGinnis, CBS News, London.
After a few days at their Kensington Palace home in London, the royal family of 4 will be moving to a new home in Norfolk, where they'll live permanently, a first for a royal family. It's following developing news in southeast Albuquerque. Police have the area of Lead and Girard closed off. Now, just before midnight, police say they were called to what appears to be an armed robbery. They say 2 people were shot and seriously injured. Now, this is still a very active scene. Now, it's unclear if the shooter or shooters are on the loose. Police are asking anyone with information about the crime to call them. We'll continue to update this story on air and online at KRQE.com and on our news app. One of the workers suspended by APD has hired an attorney and plans to file a whistleblower lawsuit. On Thursday, APD put 3 civilian workers who run the unit that releases public records on leave, saying they weren't doing it in a timely manner. But one of those employees, the records custodian for APD, says a supervisor told him they were giving out too many records. And when he brought up his concerns about that, he was retaliated against.
The Albuquerque Police Department wanted to decrease government transparency while publicly stating they were going to increase it.
APD's resistance to releasing records that would help keep you informed has been the subject of lawsuits against the city, including one by KRQE News 13. The Roswell Independent School District has paid nearly $2 million to the victims of the Berrindo Middle School shooting. In January 2014, Mason Campbell brought a gun into the school gym and shot into the bleachers, hitting Nathaniel Tavares and Kendall Sanders. Court records obtained by the Roswell Daily Record show Tavares was awarded $1 million, Sanders more than $900,000 for medical expenses and damages. Campbell, the then 12-year-old shooter, will be in state custody until he's 21. Deputies in New Mexico are calling a missing persons case suspicious. Raquel Rodriguez and Abraham Jimenez live in Chavez County outside of Roswell and have been missing since April 19th. The sheriff's office says Rodriguez's van was found abandoned miles from their home in good condition. Deputies also say no evidence of foul play has been found, but they are concerned after finding several animals without water at their home, a sign that no one planned to leave. They say they're doing everything they can to figure out this mysterious case.
We've gone out, we've looked around, we've taken out 4-wheelers, we've searched the entire area where the vehicle was found, as well as the residence.
They're working with leads they have, but urge anyone who knows something to speak up. Well, two men say bouncers beat them for no reason outside an Albuquerque nightclub. The club's manager says his bouncer had to defend himself. News 13's Gabrielle Burkhardt spoke to the victims who say their injuries speak for themselves. We want to warn you, some of the pictures are graphic.
It was completely excessive and unnecessary.
John Rosema and his friend Caleb Van Zoren say bouncers at Imbibe knocked them unconscious Tuesday night, along with a broken nose.
The eye socket is concaved into my face, and my cheek, I have 6 fractures in my cheek. I had bleeding on my brain.
This is what Caleb looked like in the hospital. He says a girl he was with at Imbibe was drunk and asked to leave. But when they went outside, Caleb claims a bouncer confronted him.
Went to go walk around him, and right then's when he hit me in the face.
The bouncer then hit Caleb.
You saw him throw the first punch?
Oh, yeah.
We called Imbibe.
I was hoping to talk to maybe a manager or somebody about it.
The manager wouldn't go on camera, but he claims his security guard punched John and Caleb each one time and acted in self-defense after the two tried to hit him. John says that's not true.
I was getting choked from behind, and I eventually went unconscious.
He says multiple bouncers threw blow after blow on the sidewalk as they tried to leave.
At no point were they trying to get us out of there. At no point were they trying to get us to leave and just get the situation under control.
The manager tells us his bouncer was just doing his job and wasn't injured. John and Caleb say that proves their point.
You can look at my hands, you can look at Caleb's hands. Obviously, we didn't throw any punches.
No matter what they say, no matter what the story is, excessive force was used. I was almost beat to death. I had brain bleeding. I have broken bones everywhere.
Gabrielle Burkhardt, KRQE News 13.
Caleb had surgery on his face yesterday. No charges have been filed. EPD says it is still investigating the case. Now, 2 downtown bouncers were charged in December for aggravated battery. Video that's tough to watch showed a bouncer kicking a man in the head and the other standing on the man's neck. A New Mexico man who thought he was paying his dinner bill got duped by a thief. He was eating at the Blue Corn Cafe and Brewery in Santa Fe Monday night and did what so many of us do when we eat out. He put his credit card out for the waitress to ring it up.
This woman walked up. He thought and appeared she was working at the Blue Corn Cafe. She acquired the ticket, the bill, the credit card, and disappeared.
Police say the woman posing as a fake waitress took the card to a nearby Target and spent $200. They say she then sped off in a silver 7 Series BMW. They still have not found her. Well, the New Mexico homeless man who pulled out a card reader in a video that's gone viral has confirmed what many of us thought. It was all a hoax.
Man, I got no change, but I just got a card, bro. Sorry.
That's all right. I got a card reader.
Whoa! Let me see that!
Earlier this week, we showed you this video shot in Roswell. The creators insisted to News 13 it was real, but the Roswell Daily Record interviewed the homeless man featured in it, and he says it's not. Well, Tesla wants to charge up your house with the same technology found in its electric cars. The CEO showed off the new Powerwall batteries. The smallest are 6 inches thick and 4 feet high and can be mounted on walls. They say they can store solar energy and use it to power your house. The cost of the Powerwall system starts at $3,000. A case of animal cruelty